Good day and welcome to today's interesting lesson on spelling and speaking. The topic is words with ious and lus at the end. Can you call out the topic again? Words with ious and lus at the end. That is interesting. And that takes us to the lesson objectives for the day. Can you read them out? One of them being to state the sound for the spellings lus and ious, and the other is to pronounce words with the spellings. Then read sentences on the words studied. Thereafter we shall play games involving words with the spellings lus and ious. Can you read them again? State the sounds with the spellings lus and ious, then pronounce words with the spellings. Thereafter read sentences on the words studied. Finally, play games involving words with the spellings lus and ious. Okay, let us start the lesson this way. Can you read this sentence and say what you feel about it? Just to read the sentence, then you express your views about it. This is the sentence. Famous people like marvelous and victorious are generous and conscious, not jealous. And you read it again. Famous people like marvelous and victorious are generous and conscious, not jealous. That's interesting. You make your judgment of the sentence. Okay. If I've read the sentence correctly, then there are some things I want you to take note of. One is the ious in the spellings, which you read. Ious, when you say it in a word at the end, is normally pronounced ears, not eos, not eos. Can you say that? That when you see ious at the end of a word, it is normally pronounced ears. Say ears, not eos. And that when you see lus at the end of a word, it is normally pronounced is, not us, not us. And that both ious and lus have the sound, that is the schwa. And what does it do? It weakens the syllables they are found. If you see this sound in a word or syllable, automatically that part is weak. It cannot receive the primary stress. You cannot pronounce it with much emphasis. You shift your emphasis to the other parts of the word. There is something I want you to say to know here. When you see this ious, as I've explained, being called is or is. Note that with some words it may not be the same. For example, if you look at this, you call it couscous, and the other one is rendezvous, which actually do not fit into that category. Thank you. And that takes us to this part of the lesson, words with spellings and sounds. Now here you have the lus, as we said, being pronounced is, and this ious being pronounced is, and this is, and this is. Now let us look at the words one after the other. We'll start with the transcription part of the words. This is called danger. You can call it danger, but when you see it here as an adjective, it becomes dangerous. Say it dangerous, and you say that, say dangerous. And from the other side, you have what is called obvious. Say obvious. And here you have jealous. Say jealous, not jealous, but jealous. Say jealous. And here what you say, ferocious. Instead of saying ferocious, it's pronounced ferocious. Can you call them again? Dangerous, obvious, jealous, ferocious. Thank you. Call the word for number 3. Just try it. It is called poisonous. Say poisonous, 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 poisonous. That's great. Let's go to number 4. What do you say here? Advantageous. Say it again. Advantageous instead of advantageous. Just advantageous. And then number 4 is cancerous. Say cancerous instead of cancerous. Say cancerous. Let's go to the other side where we have here, what you have here, ambitious. Call it again ambitious instead of ambitious, just ambitious. We have come to another one called cautious instead of cautious, just called cautious. Say cautious, cautious instead of cautious. These A and U are pronounced O, so it becomes cautious. And then we come to another one which is anxious, anxious, anxious instead of anxious, anxious, just anxious. Okay, what you see in number 7, how do you call the word? It is called courageous. Say courageous instead of courageous, just say courageous, courageous. You know, the noun form of it can be courage, courage, but as an adjective is pronounced courageous, as you say here, courageous. Then let's go to this. How do you call this? Say conscious. Say conscious instead of conscious, just conscious. Number 8, what do you say here? Disastrous. Say disastrous, disastrous instead of disastrous, just disastrous. And go to the other part of number 8. What do you say? Contagious. Say contagious instead of contagious, just contagious. Go to number 9. How do you call it? You call it fabulous. Say fabulous, fabulous, fabulous instead of fabulous or fabulous, just fabulous. The same thing applies to this word. You call it envious. Say envious, envious instead of envious. He's envious of no. Say he is envious, envious. And we call them again courageous, disastrous, fabulous, conscious, contagious, envious. I put us together for you. Okay, can you call the words for number 10? Number 10. This is called R. So say marvelous. Say marvelous instead of marvelous. Marvelous. And this is called hilarious. Hilarious instead of hilarious. Hilarious. And number 11 is vigorous. Say vigorous instead of rigorous. Vigorous. And this is called glorious. The letter L here gives us O, so it becomes glorious. Glorious. Number 12. Can you attempt it? It can be re or just re. So ridiculous. Say ridiculous or ridiculous. Ridiculous instead of ridiculous. And this gives us insidious. Say it, insidious. Insidious instead of insidious. It's called insidious. Okay, number 13 is called tremendous. Can you call that tremendous? Tremendous. The other part of 13 is called laborious. 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 14 is called glamorous. Glamorous instead of glamorous or glamorous. Glamorous. Then this is called tedious. Say tedious, not tedious but tedious. This is called vigorous. Say vigorous, vigorous. And this is called tenacious. Tenacious instead of tenacious, just tenacious. And we call them again tremendous, laborious, glamorous, tedious, tenacious, vigorous. Thank you. Okay, can you call the words for number 16? Well, the first one is gorgeous. Can you say it? Gorgeous, because of this O. O-R is pronounced O. So gorgeous instead of gorgeous. Can you call it gorgeous? And this other side, there are actually 3 pronunciations to this word. It is called luxurious. Luxurious. Then we have luxurious. luxurious. Then the last one is luxurious, luxurious. And we call one luxurious, luxurious, luxurious instead of luxurious, luxurious. Okay, number 17 is pronounced autonomous. Say autonomous, autonomous. AU is pronounced O, autonomous. The O you found in gorgeous, autonomous, autonomous community, not autonomous, but autonomous community. This is called oblivious instead of oblivious. It's pronounced oblivious. Just like this is called famous, famous instead of famous, or famous was famous. And this is called previous, previous instead of previous. Previous is pronounced previous. Thank you. Okay, call the word for number 19. How do you call it? Okay, it is called populous, populous, populous. The other side we will have prestigious, prestigious instead of prestigious, prestigious. And number 20 we have generous, and you call it generous instead of generous, generous. Then the other side we have religious, religious, religious instead of religious. And here we have, can you call number 21, this is meticulous, can you call it meticulous, meticulous, meticulous instead of meticulous, meticulous, meticulous. And the last one is serious, 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 serious instead of serious, 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 no, serious. Thank you. Okay, can we read this sentence together? Take time so that we read it together. There's one thing I want to say. When you're reading it, don't break it. Don't just pause. Go on reading, except you see punctuation. That's exactly what should be done when you're reading. So let's read. It's ridiculous and disastrous to be envious. And we'll say that again. It's disastrous and it's ridiculous and disastrous to be envious. There are some things I have to say here. If you look at this, you see this and being pronounced and. That's exactly what happens when we're speaking. In connected speech, the auxiliary verbs, conjunctions, the interjections, they actually function as the weak forms. They function as the weak forms. The determinants also function as the weak forms. They are not strong because that means you don't stress them. You don't lay emphasis on them. You try to run over them faster. They have for this becomes and instead of and. Also how to explain something like this. To you know it has two pronunciations. One is called to, just like number 2, but the other, as you say it here, is called to. When do you call it to? When do you call it to? Pay close attention. You call it to when the next word to it begins with a consonant, as you say here, but you call it to when the next word to it begins with a vowel sound. And we read the sentence. It is ridiculous and disastrous to be envious. When you read, try to connect all your words. That's the secret to correct speaking. That's why when the Americans, when British speak, you feel you can't hear them because they connect with their speech. They don't leave them that way. Thank you. Well, welcome to the activity part of the lesson. What are we doing here? Follow the links attached to play online games on the topic. There are links which I will bring, so what we're trying to do is to play all games with the links. Please you copy the links correctly. I will post the links on the class dojo for you to copy. Thank you. This is one of the links. This is one of the links. This is it. And the link will take you here. When you click it, it will take you here. Okay, is a form of the 8 is a puzzle. So you play it by selecting the words. When you select timing, it will go. When you're done, you screenshot your answer and submit to me on the class dojo. This is the second link. Look at it properly. This is the second link. This second link will take you here. It will take you here. Then you sound the word. You sound the word here. You look at it, you spell. You sound it here. Then you cover it here. After you write, you check back. Then your scores reflect here. So when you finish, you check, you screenshot these scores and submit to me on the class dojo.